Hi, it's Dulcie Crawford here, Simply Vegas with the Dulcie Crawford Group. And I want to say Happy New Year to 2019. Looking forward to another fabulous year, top producing sales, just like in 2018. We just closed out the year with a fabulous December, #1 sales for my brokerage. And it was a grueling December because we had a lot of transactions, and we worked really hard to make sure everybody closed out happy and with awesome results. And one of them is one of my favorite stories of the year, so I want to share that with you. It's a buyer that I just loved working with. I love creating those relationships because it's about the customer service and the relationship that you can create in real estate that I think is such a fabulous opportunity versus just looking at it as just trying to get a house sold. And for this particular situation, I am a Zillow Premier agent, so I get lots of phone calls all week long. And these buyers called me in very frustrated about how they couldn't get into this beautiful luxury, beautiful modern canyon home here in Henderson. And I told them, I said, you know what, I'm pretty sure I can get you in there. I asked them to help them on a couple other houses, and they kind of put me off because they thought they could represent themselves and just go to the listing agent. And I stayed after them, and they finally said, you know what, Dulcie, if you get me in the door, you know what, we'll work with you. And so I got them in the door, even though they felt like they couldn't because they made several attempts and the listing office just wasn't getting back to them. And we got them in, and we proceeded right away into writing an offer. They were so in love with the property, really cute, modern loft style property. They're very popular these days. And basically where we ended up is that getting through the escrow started becoming kind of very difficult. You know, listing agent wasn't present. They weren't negotiating on behalf of the seller. Seller was pretty much representing themselves. I was kind of stuck in between working with a transaction coordinator and not a listing agent. And, you know, that happens a lot on discount listings, unfortunately. I think people have to realize that the lack of representation can really lose them a transaction. I went from my buyers being so in love with the property and excited, couldn't wait to close. Highly qualified clients, by the way. And the whole deal fell apart pretty much over inspections, the fact that the home wasn't well maintained. Most likely listing agent never showed up and walked through the home with them, give them any pointers on what they should have been doing to get that house into tip-top shape to have a, you know, almost $3 million sale. And basically, you know, it got difficult, and my buyers got disenchanted and ended up wanting to cancel. So, you know, we were able to cancel because I negotiated very well for them during the inspection period. And we exited that transaction and basically, you know, right away went into transaction on a much more higher end property in the Anthem Country Club, one of my favorite neighborhoods to work and sell in. And that property was just even more beautiful. And they were so happy that they were able to get out of the other one, move on to this new transaction. And again, because, you know, we used Criterion McWilliams structural engineer, it happens to be one of my recommendations for my clients when they're using property inspectors. Don't just use a regular home inspector. Look for a general contractor, a structural engineer. If you're buying a $1.4 or $5 million home, you want to invest the money in the inspections. Maybe even have a separate pool inspector, etc. And so with that, we got through the inspections this time. House was much better maintained. We actually had 2 full-time agents working on both sides, and it allowed the sale to be a much smoother transaction, a lot less friction. Everybody's very happy and friendly with each other. And my clients are getting very excited now, getting ready to move into their beautiful new, gorgeous, ultra-modern property in the Anthem Country Club. It was a fully renovated, gorgeous house. And we have a happy ending. I mean, my client is so happy. They basically gave me such a beautiful review, called me up and told me that they felt like that I was a big difference in what had happened in their purchasing experience, because they had thought they were going to forgo having a buyer's agent or possibly just use a friend that part-time does real estate. And they told me that they knew that I really took representing them, you know, very seriously, and that I protected them in that first transaction, making sure that they didn't buy a house that was going to be flawed and have leaks and all sorts of different things that were going wrong with the home. and that, you know, I did a fabulous job, and they thought that made all the difference, and that they really enjoyed working with me, and we're looking forward to having a long relationship together. So that's a great story for 2018, and I'm looking forward to having some more great, fabulous buyers in 2019 as well.